Welcome, everybody, to the 17th episode of the Customer Ed Nuggets podcast series. I'm independent learning tech analyst John Lay of Talented Learning, hosting today's show with a new guest expert, Christine Kukic, principal owner of the Training Sherpa, co-host of the Mixology podcast, where they talk about the intersection of customer ed and marketing, and a conference trustee of CEdMA, the world's only nonprofit dedicated to customer education success. Well, last week, Christine and I both attended the CEdMA conference in Atlanta, where customer ed professionals of all stripes gathered to share and learn. Christine helped plan the conference. Well, actually, she planned the conference and has attended many CEdMA conferences in the past. This was my first CEdMA, though. Today, we're going to bring that veteran rookie dynamic of CEdMA to this show as Christine and I highlight our top takeaways from this year's conference. Christine, welcome to the Customer Ed Nuggets podcast. Great to have you here.
I am so excited to be here and to work with you in this forum, John. Yay. We've been talking about it for a while, so it's good to be here with you.
Christine, you had almost a full 24 hours to reflect on the conference. What's your top takeaway?
One of the biggest comments that we heard from the attendees and the vendor sponsors and the industry people that were there was that it is so nice to be in the space with your people. I think that we opened up with Donna Weber, and she really targeted the fact that it is our turn to step up and be seen, that we need to, her phrase was step into the light, that we've been in the background in the shadows, making sure that everything works. We've been there supporting teams so that we can see less churn, supporting teams for greater product adoption, supporting teams and customers with pure content and opportunities to learn about the product and how we can be more effective in our jobs with jobs to be done. And all of those things have been happening in the background. And now is time for us to step into the light and say, we're here, we can do this, and we are the scale engines to success, as Adam says, right? Adam Avramescu wrote this one up about customer ed being the scale engine to customer success. And I think Donna reinforced that. All right, she really gave us an opportunity to, and some practical ways to do it, right? How to make friends with your CFO and those kind of things. And that structure in and of itself was the starting point for the conference. And for me, everything that we did after that supported those words in different kinds of ways. So that was I think my favorite takeaway from all of it.
One way that we can step out of the darkness here, and here's my takeaway, is that all I heard was metrics, KPIs, metrics. Oh, I was in my glory in my home, hearing all that. But no matter who I talk to, there's something that somebody's measuring across some area of the customer life cycle, from attracting new customers, onboarding them, supporting them over time, turning them into advocates. In every one of those areas, I heard different metrics that are being measured, and not only being measured, but just showing just ginormous growth, in all of these, and that's how you're stepping out of the darkness, is because we're making a big difference inside these organizations.
You're driving digital decisions, right? We get an opportunity through these metrics, and we're seeing the numbers are just amazing, right? If you listen to the presentation that talked specifically, we had a session on metrics, so it was great. But the idea behind it is that we're seeing, with levels of customer education involved in building out the customer journey, we are seeing numbers for churn and adoption, product adoption, that are reaching in some cases like 30+% increases in some of these numbers, or decreases in cases like churn, right? We can not completely negate churn, because that just can't happen, but we can certainly decrease the amount of churn by working with education. And there's a clear pathway that says that educated customers adopt more of your product. They become more knowledgeable about your product, and in many cases, they become advocates for your product, because they learn more. Certification plays into that, right? All of that is based off of the fact that we impact numbers that are not just important to customer education, but are important to the customer success experience within our products. And that you can't do better than that.
Yeah, you can't do better than that. And it's Quite frankly, it's so much better than employee learning because he can actually see the results, and so can everybody else. All right, give me another takeaway. What else? What else did you walk away with? What's
My
different this time?
second one was, I think, the construct that we saw with marketing. And I'm an advocate as the title of mixology, right? The mix of customer education and customer marketing. So I believe that those two tracks together can really enhance the customer experience by taking the one to many away from the customer success team where it usually lies. And what we saw with Andrew DeBell's presentation on marketing was just that. He put forth some incredibly powerful information about how he is able to transform customer education with some customer marketing. And I think that is an amazing way, again, to shine, right? To show the light on the one to many side of the house. And he did an absolutely amazing presentation to the membership about what he's been able to do at his organization.
It was really cool too. That was one of my favorites. But that how they use at Atlassian, they basically had existing YouTube third party influencers that are offering their own training and commentary on the organization, and they embraced these third party folks and brought them into their learning system, into the ecosystem, and everybody wins. And they basically using the power, the horsepower that those organizations to drive their own learning. It was something I never even conceived of, for sure. So lots of good stuff about the marketing. I like to call it be an instructional marketer. Is how I always think about it. But what I learned this week is that a lot of people are calling them educational marketers now.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be a more popular term.
And we're seeing some phenomenal attribution, right? We're seeing the enhancement of education qualified leads
Mm,
that
sure.
come from the synergies that we start to get when we put these concepts together.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're running out of time. That's what always
Oh,
happens
okay,
with these
one more
nuggets.
then. One
Are
more.
these nuggets? Okay.
Community,
Ah,
peer-to-peer learning and community. Christiane Nansen from Oracle University built out a learning community separate from the product community, and they will hit 1 million users in their community. I
right a day.
suspect, yeah, any day now. They were at, what'd she say, 994,000 when she gave the presentation earlier this week. So I
Yeah,
suspect in the next few weeks we'll start to see that 1 million number as a standard, and that she'll be able to exceed that in this year. In their fiscal year ends in May, so she'll
wow,
definitely hit the mark before
that's
the end of the
phenomenal.
fiscal year.
And she grew that from like 100,000 or so in 18 months. And so just putting a focus on that, and all that is just drives traffic back and forth to the LMS. Fantastic. Speaking of the LMS, here's my last takeaway. I'd love to see the specialists or vested in attending CEdMA and really putting some good thought leadership out. I had conversations with Thought Industries, Eurekas, Intellum, NetExam, Absorb, Gainsight, Thinkific, SkillJar, just to name a few that were there, all keeping their eye on the ball, the customer education ball. Really cool to see. Very excited as really that's the angle I'm coming from is from the learning systems angle. So there you have it, folks. There's a quick customer nugget. We had a great show down in Atlanta. We learned a lot about how to take credit for our work, metrics, stepping out into the spotlight, how we're reducing churn and making an impact at every cycle of the life cycle, how communities now are playing a huge part in the ecosystem, and really how the ecosystem, the backbone, is the customer LMS, which is becoming a really specialized, specific thing. And so those are just a couple of our takeaways. Come look at the post, the accompanying post. The URL is in the directions, and you can read some of the other things that we uncovered here in this very exciting week. Thank
And
you
we'll see you
for
next year in Austin.
yeah. We'll see you next year at Austin. Awesome. Attendees, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Customer Ed Nuggets. Christine, thank you very much for
Thank
coming to
you.
share your expertise. It's great to have you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Everyone, we'll see you on the next. Thank you.